Hello from Nihon. This is Ike, and I'm with
Ako here.
So yeah, what's going on? We haven't been on for a long time.
That's right. We came back to city.
We're back in the city from the countryside. We've been in the countryside since March 9th, and we came back here a couple of days ago. Japan has lifted its lockdown, and we're gonna test out the waters. It seems that we're in a second phase of infections.
Yeah, kind of. In the Kitakyushu city, right?
Yeah, but if you compare it to the rest of the world, I mean, in first world countries, most first world countries are still in lockdown, and they're, I got friends from all over asking me what's going on in Japan, and I got friends in the UK. Of course, I got lots of friends in the United States. That's where I'm from, and everyone's telling me different stories and stuff. But Ako found a pretty interesting survey that was taken by Tokyo University, right?
Yeah, that's right.
There is a correlation with, what's the connection again?
大卒と高卒, they're university degree people and they're high school degree people.
There is a correlation, and it's kind of a meme.
I think so.
I don't know why they put this out. I guess to shame people. Who knows why?
Yeah.
But they found a correlation. People who took the COVID-19 pandemic lightly, on average, have a lower education than people who take it seriously and follow all of the precautions.
Yeah.
So this made the rounds in Japanese media. A lot of Japanese.
No, it wasn't really like a focused, but I just found it like not accidentally. Yeah, and it's they're the people who have their this is their like a 30s, 40s generation.
You mean year-olds?
Year-old generations, and there are people who have their university, high school degree. They really didn't change their behavior towards their daily life, even though it's a COVID. The number of the COVID infected people are more and more.
Yeah.
They didn't really change. And in university degree people, they try to meet less people. They try to eat out less and something like that. Be more careful.
Yeah, they should be a bit more careful, because if we learn anything from the past, from the recent history, 1918, the Spanish flu, which also infected Japan in a major way. We should be cautious. We didn't know in February and in March, we didn't know the severity of this pandemic. How bad would it be? And it came out of China, so there's not much we can really go, because in Chinese culture they have what's the word for face, or menzi? Chinese.
面子.
面子. So in 面子means keeping your face, keeping your reputation. That's number one. So when this disease got out of China, the Chinese first reaction wasn't take care of the citizens, and warn the world. No, instead it was, keep this quiet.
Yeah.
Keep our reputation solid.
Yeah.
Don't make us look like fuck ups, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. What do you think about that?
What do you mean? What do I think about it? It's terrible. What do you mean?
It's terrible. But yeah, they really care about 面子 and 面子 of their basically government, right? Their China government. That sucks. And I was reading their survey again, and it's you made a good point. I thought university degree people, maybe they have more jobs that enable them to help work in the house, telework, right?
What do you mean? Okay, yeah. That's another thing. I made a critique about this correlative data that came out from this university, Tokyo University. Now, first off, people who have university degrees, on the whole, I imagine, and I'm pretty sure I'm right, they have jobs that probably you can do remotely.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of paper pushers with university degrees. On the other hand, people who only have a high school degree, they probably have more of a manual, person-to-person type of job, construction, things that come to mind, construction work, service industry. So they have to deal with people, unlike, 4-year degree people who have a university degree, and they probably work in the office where they can't afford to work at home. And that's one of the good things. A little side note, one of the good things about COVID, Japan, a lot of people think Japan is some technological marvel, and it is in a lot of respects, but it's slow to change in other regards. Like the idea that you have to come to work in this age in this information age, you have to come to work. It's kind of silly, right? In some jobs, right? In a lot of jobs, right? So now, because of the pandemic, big giant corporations like Hitachi are not changing. They're going to actually, I'm sorry, they have changed, and they're not going back. They're going to keep 70% of the people that don't have to be in the office. They're going to keep them at home. They're going to give them the right to work remotely, which I think is a great benefit.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's a win-win-win-win-win plus win for everybody involved. Okay, sorry to get off a tangent. Let's go back to the story. So yeah, I mean, if you're a blue-collar worker with a with a high school degree, and you don't have the option to work from home because you're a maitre d' at a restaurant, then you probably will, as a human mind does, rationalize why you should go back to work. Oh, this COVID is not such a big deal, even though there's a piece of you that's saying, nah, it's not right. I mean, there's a chance I can get sick. There's a chance I can get my kids sick, my partner sick. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I understand that. And what I thought when I saw this survey, the very first thing what I thought is like, if there any lower education people really don't care. Now it's not don't care, but don't less care about the COVID. Maybe because they finish their education in a high school, which means like a 16 or 17. No, 17 or 18, right? And then directly go to work. Then maybe, for me, like university is like I learned how to think about something, like a news or before in high school, before high school and before university, I just memorize the things.
You absorb and regurgitate.
Yeah, in Japan, it's not really, there are less chance to do presentation or like make an essay in high school. Just memorize, and then make do test, right? That's all. So I really didn't think about something carefully or deeply
in high school.
Like society, about society's social thing or something.
So you're saying in university you got more of a chance to exercise your critical thinking.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I want to say. So in the mean, I think going to university is a really good thing, and I don't say higher education, higher level of the university always good or something like that. But still, you can meet more maybe interesting topic to talk about, and people around better university, like higher university, has more motivated people around you. You know what I mean?
That's a very good point. University people are very motivated, but excuse me. I remember one of my friends said, we had a mutual friend who she dropped out, and my friend Stacy said, well, Ike, not higher education is not for everybody. And that got me thinking. And I'm like, I don't say that you have to go to university, but the thing about university or higher education, it's customizable. You customize it
by yourself,
right?
That's cool.
Yeah. So think about, there are some barriers like finances, being able to afford higher education. But all the way from grade school to high school, you have not so many options. You got to study math, history, everything, right? Sorry, I took a sip. It went down the wrong hole. Anyways, university is customizable.
Yeah.
You can pick and choose what you want to learn.
Yeah, I was so excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, my major was, maybe it sounds so weird to you, but like a Chinese language.
Yeah, I often say on this podcast that you're one of the few Japanese people that has interest in Chinese culture. As you know,
I wasn't.
Chinese language, but majority, there's, as the people listening to this podcast might know, there's a lot of tension historically, and for good reason, between Japan and China.
Actually, I was not really interested in China country. I didn't know about China at all when I studied Chinese language. Just I really like the sound of the Chinese language, and okay, I want to study Chinese. That's all. Then in university, I learned history. I learned history before, but more deeply, and
university
more deeply, because before it just memorized, right? I just know the words and number, their which year it happened or something like that, but I really didn't think why and what and who or something like that more deeply, and I became more interested, and that brought me the other worlds,
Other world, yeah.
Like
it broadened your horizon.
Yeah, that's right. So it was really good for me, and also I took there's many lessons. You say
lessons, yeah.
Lessons like you can choose, like as you say, customize, right? There's too many things I really wanted to learn, so I took much more credit I supposed to get.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I really liked it. Yeah, so university is I like that.
I loved it. It was one of the few things in my life that was better than my expectations.
Yeah, but
for me.
Yeah, for you. But yeah, for me as well. But I saw not few people who just ruin their really great chance to learn for their life.
But before we continue, we should talk about that, because going to university in the United States and going to university in Japan are two different stories.
Oh, that's right.
Now, your situation is different because you actually have to do work in university. But let me tell you guys, if you're listening, in Japan, it's all about getting in.
That's right.
After you get into the university of your choice, you gotta do like 30 minutes a week.
Yeah.
30 minutes a week.
Party.
I mean, like an hour a week maybe. It's just party. You just join a club and drink and have sex with people. That's like, for example, tennis club. Tennis club is in every university. There's clubs there, but tennis club is really not about tennis. It's about going out and doing karaoke and hooking up with
That's right.
your classmates.
They just cheat on their tests.
So in Japan, exactly, it's all about the test. Getting in, which is really difficult to do. That's the major hurdle, is getting in. And then once you're in, someone, a good friend of mine once said that Japan is the closest thing to a functioning communist state. In the sense that, it's of course capitalist, but it's capitalist state. It's a free market, and you got companies that vie for the dollar, for the yen from their consumers and all that stuff. It's a capitalist country, but in the sense that everyone's herded into education. Everyone's herded into either university or blue collar.
Yeah.
And then your life is pretty much mapped out.
Yeah.
Your life is pretty much in a trajectory. Your company, which this is changing, by the way. This is changing. I'm not saying this will be for time and forever and memoriam, but once you enter university or once you become an apprentice for a carpentry job, blue collar or university, whatever, you're gonna get a job, and the company's gonna take care of you for life. The company takes care of you for life.
If you're 正社員ね。
If you're full time, shine. They take care of you for life. Take care of all the medical, not medical so much. Medical's taken care of by the state.
Pension.
But pension, and you can't. It's really hard to get fired. You have to murder someone in front of your boss to get fired. It's really hard to get fired. And of course, retirement pension, like Ako said, is taken care of, right?
That's
so,
right.
You're also pressured by societal norms to get married.
Yeah.
And to spit out some kids and repeat the process. Now you can be listening to us in the United States or in France or Britain and think, well, that's the case in my country too. Trust me, it's different in Japan. The pressure here is so much greater.
Social pressure, that's right.
Yeah.
It's getting changed though, really.
It's changing, but at a very, very, very slow rate.
Yeah. So this COVID thing is changing the world. I mean, Japan.
That's right. COVID is changing Japan. And let me tell you guys, we fumbled. Japan as a country fumbled and tripped over a good situation when it comes to COVID. Okay. Our senior citizen rate is high, like Italy's. I misspoke. Population is like Italy's. Our smoking population, people who smoke, like Italy's. So we were right there. We could have, fallen on our faces with this COVID. We were caught with our pants down, just like every other country. South Korea wasn't caught with their pants down, but Japan was not ready. Okay. Our lockdown was a paper lockdown, not even real lockdown. We didn't test at all. I mean, we did test, of course, but very difficult criteria to get tested. You'd have to be 2 days before you died to kind of test. It's crazy. Okay, I'm exaggerating. You'd have to get what's that radiation scan they give you?
X-ray.
Yeah, what's the kind of X-ray? The special X-ray.
No, CT
scan, which is a heavy-duty radiation, scan of your whole body. You have to call a hotline. It was just a big mess.
Yeah, it's changed though.
It's changed. The PCR is more widely available now, and anyways, the point of the matter is, in the beginning stages of this thing, Japan fumbled, tripped over, and luckily, we came out so far, right? We still got winter to deal with. We came out unscathed, and I guess I would attribute it to the adherence to people wearing masks. Now, you might not know this, Ako, but in the United States, wearing a mask is an issue.
Oh yeah, I heard of that.
It's a political. It's become a political stance. Okay. Like you would hear, at least on my Facebook with my American friends, and they're divided too. You get these Republican people who refuse to wear a mask, saying that it infringes on their civil liberties, and then you have more liberal folks saying, hey, we should care about our community and wear the masks. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. So in Japan, even though we talked about this whole podcast episode was more about the survey that Ako read, conducted by Tokyo University, about how people with lower education didn't take this disease seriously. The fact of the matter is, over 90% of the Japanese population wear masks. And that is one of the most important reasons why Japan hasn't had such a terrible outcome.
Yeah,
like
maybe.
Italy has had. I'm guessing. But what else could it be?
Yeah, and WHO, they finally admit.
Yeah, Yeah, you know what? Fuck WHO.
Yeah, they finally said wearing masks is working.
They're like a yo-yo up and down.
Yeah.
They belong to China. To me, I don't trust anything those
Yeah.
people fucking say. I mean, and this attitude I have for them came out of the COVID pandemic when they were saying that the mask didn't mean anything. I still wore my mask as a symbol for other Japanese people to know that I'm with them. But in my mind, I thought this is a bullshit thing to do. Now, in hindsight, after seeing what happened in Japan and what didn't happen in Japan and what happened in the other countries, I realized that the mask is a very important thing. Plus, there's the social distancing that is innate or baked into Japanese culture.
So when do you wear masks usually?
Where, in America?
Yeah.
Never.
Never. But sometimes hay fever people wear
We don't wear
masks
masks
a
in
lot.
America. Okay.
Really?
Now we do. Some of us do because of the COVID. But the evidence is undeniable that this helps prevent the spread of this virus. Why? Sure, the COVID is a extremely small virus which would easily pass through the fabric of a mask. But the COVID virus does not travel in a vacuum by itself. It travels in droplets, in our saliva. Okay, think of you crossing the English Channel from the UK to France, right? Sure, you can swim the English Channel, but you have better chances on a boat, on an airplane. Same thing with this virus. It has better chances of traveling in your saliva, in your droplets, when you speak, when you breathe out your droplets, right? And these droplets will smash into those masks that you wear. Allowing you to keep your virus to yourself.
Interesting, because in Japan, the wearing mask is so normal.
It is normal, but it wasn't like everyone was doing it before. So
Yeah, before.
I mean, I'm not talking about COVID. Like you said, Ako, wearing a mask is part of Japanese culture. You know, in the wintertime, people get influenza. They don't want to wear makeup. There's just a thousand reasons why people wear a mask.
Yeah.
But now everyone wears it because everyone understands that it's a useful tool to prevent COVID.
Yeah. Right now, we came back to city and we went to a mall and everyone wearing masks, right? Only we saw one person, two people. So who's not wearing mask, but most of 99% people are wearing masks.
Yes.
So it's cool. I'm kind of relieved about that.
Proud, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So glad to see that.
Japan is very much a shame culture.
Ashamed and 長いものに巻かれろ. They're do same thing as other people.
Yeah, what's the kotowa? What's the proverb? The nail that sticks out gets hammered down.
So. Yeah, that's right. Now, right now, in the COVID situation, it worked in good way, right? Usually, it's not. 長いものに巻かれろ is not a good. Doesn't sound good, you don't sound like you have no any will, you have no choice by yourself. But yeah, in this situation, yes, it's good.
In this situation, yes, it's working out for the better.
Working out. So there shops are opening fully, and today I was searching a theme parks. The one in Nagasaki, there's a Holland theme park, House Tembos, and right now they only open available for their people within the same prefecture, Nagasaki.
Which is smart.
Yeah, and they're from 18th, in few weeks, they see what's happened, and then they will open to other people from other prefectures. So getting more and more, right?
That's right. And before we continue, we gotta be very clear. There was never a real lockdown in Japan.
Yeah.
It was
no
up to you.
punishment, no penalty.
No punishment, no penalty. Back before World War II, the Japanese state, the emperor had that kind of power over the people. And after World War II, it was kind of baked into the constitution, the Japanese constitution, that the government cannot have that kind of control over people.
Yeah, we have a freedom
to say no. So in that sense, it's freer than the United States, because the United States in California, for example, you get penalized for walking around and stuff without a mask.
In Europe too, right?
In Europe too. So yeah, it's really interesting. Another really interesting thing about this Japanese rule or governance is privacy. The privacy of the citizens is such an important thing in Japan. You can't give out people's information so easily. The government can if you're asking for it. It's really hard to do in this country, which I found really interesting.
There's another survey I was really interested, and I forgot which country, but there are in the worldwide like a survey. Do you think it's your fault that if you got their COVID or not? Do you think it's your fault?
If I got COVID, is it my fault?
それがUnited States, England, and Japan or something. In Japan, maybe only in Japan, it was really high. Other country thinks it's not your fault if you got the COVID. しょうがない. Can't help. But in Japan, people think that's your fault.
So yeah.
Don't you think it's interesting? I think I was wondering why. I was thinking why. Maybe because we didn't penalize. Penalize. In other countries, usually more countries have like penalize it, right? And so if penalize people not going outside, they really cannot go outside. But in Japan, they can. But if you really want to, right? So people think got the COVID because they go out even though you're not supposed to, which is not, it's not 100%, right? Maybe he or she, if we got the COVID, really care about the COVID. They didn't go out so much, but somehow they got it. But people, regardless, she or he went outside in the lockdown time. So they think it's your fault. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you leave your home for anything, there's a chance you can get it, right? But at that same time, you have to leave your home to get food.
That's right.
So, or just your daily necessities. I don't think if I took all the proper precautions, then of course nothing is 100%. Nothing will keep me from getting it. So I don't think it would be my fault.
I think so too, but many Japanese people doesn't think so. I thought it's a really interesting survey.
A little cultural difference there.
Yeah, cultural difference. Yeah. しょうがない. They don't think so.
しょうがない means it can't be helped.
Can't be helped. Yeah. That's what I thought so. On the internet recently.
Okay, well, that's it for today's episode. Anything else you want to add?
I didn't like this Fanta.
Okay, so Ako got Fanta. You know the Fanta was created by Nazis?
Really? Is it German?
German Fanta.
Really?
I don't know if they're still owned by a German. I don't know if they're still a German company, but originated from Nazi Germany. Okay. Anyways, Fanta came out in Japan with a Colombian flavor.
Yeah, it's called
Lulo.
Yeah, they have like a worldwide flavors, interesting flavors.
We had a Romanian one.
That's right. That's the first one, the Socata. It's the popular flavor in Romania.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I like that one.
I like that one too. And the second one is Colombian Lulo. Well, it tastes like honey to me.
Yeah, it tastes like honey, but in a bad way. I love honey, and I love when I was a kid. I drank soda pop all the time. And actually, I've been to Colombia a number of times. I have family in Colombia, in Barranquilla and Bogota, and I never had lulo before. Maybe this is a new thing in Colombia. Last time I was there, I was a little kid. Well, yeah, I didn't like it. Uncle didn't like it. This is kind of my culture. I didn't like it. I mean, my background. Well, yeah.
Let's see the next one.
Next one.
Okay, so that's all for today.
That's
Anything
all for
to
tonight.
say?
No, listen, we have a lot of free time, and we want to put out more episodes, but our son is, well, he's a baby, and babies are noisy. We got to be with him all the time.
Okay.
Especially in these times.
Yeah.
So forgive us for not putting out as regularly as we used to. But as soon as he gets a little bit older, he's gonna chill out more, just like our daughter does.
That's right.
Okay.
We're gonna try harder. Yeah.
Well, for right now, we gotta make allowances.
Okay.
Okay.
Ciao.
Be good.
Good night.
Jane, matane.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.